Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Ember with me, BringItDon. Let's talk to Klaus the guard.
Forgive me, but I am trying to memorize my mantra.
A Lightbringer approaches. Radiance is blessed this day. The temple entrance is just ahead. Alright, Elijah.
I need chaos. I'm not a monk.
Welcome to the Temple of Radiance, the last sanctuary for the Embers. You're welcome here, Lightbringer. The head monk is just inside. We've already asked about the Embers requiring sanctuary. Thank you, I'll head into the temple now. Yes, the head monk will be eager to speak with you. We are very fortunate to receive you at this dark time. That seems pretty light out. We can ignore him for now. Let's do him once around. Oh geez. So, a bunch of books in here. I don't know if I'm going to read all of them or not. It's a lot of reading, so I think every nook. Because there's those books. Let's see. I think there's more books in here as well. What I might do is see how long each one of them is, and then decide. Once around the temple, then we'll go talk to Surma and get this story started. Yeah. A ton of books. I don't know if I'm going to be reading all of those or not. The Tenets of the Shepherds. Oh, let's talk to Julius the Librarian.
Lightbringer. Behind me is our library. It's small, but even so, it contains a lifetime of knowledge. Feel free to browse.
Okay. Yeah, it's a ton of books. I might not read them, but if you guys want me to read them, just let me know in the comments section, and I'll read them on camera. There we go. Jaren the Scholar.
Peace be with you, stranger.
Alright, if you've not spoken to Surma yet, please do so. He will explain our situation. Then return to me. Perhaps I'll be able to offer you some insight. Alright, let's just go talk to Surma. We can't get a lot done without speaking to him first. And I am procrastinating.
Lightbringer. A Lightbringer. Here in our presence, exactly as in our plan. Oh, forgive my effusiveness. We hadn't dared to hope.
Are you Surma, the head monk? Correct. I provide whatever guidance I can to those of our order, and it was I who set the plan in motion to resurrect you. We needed a Lightbringer desperately. Only your power can save the Embers and Domus. Can you tell me more of this place? Radiance, this monastery, was built upon the ruins of an ancient Lightbringer temple. We have dedicated our lives to two ends, preserving the ideals of the Lightbringers and protecting the Embers in your stead. Why did you resurrect me? Your people, the Lightbringers, had a mutually beneficial relationship with the Embers, but the three races shamelessly exploit them, tapping their life energy as a power source. This, of course, kills them. You Lightbringers nurtured and protected the Embers for eons, but, well, it's our hope that you can now prevent their extinction. Why not simply ask another Lightbringer for help? We had hoped you might already have discovered the answer to that. There is no gentle way to explain, so forgive our bluntness. You are the only remaining Lightbringer. The three races went to war with your people and prevailed. The Lightbringers ceased to be. I see, but why me? We chose to resurrect you, in particular, because the location and condition of your tomb indicated you were a great hero in your time, a leader. That is what we need. We regret having to awaken you to what must be a miserable reality. Can you tell me more about these Embers? Embers are small fire sprites that can impart magical powers onto people and objects. They appear in various colors, shapes, and sizes, with the larger ones even having the ability to speak and reason. Three races view them merely as currency, as a source of power. But Embers are, in fact, living sentient creatures. I seem to remember nothing of my people. We had hoped you might already... Okay, we already talked about that. How is it possible for Korn to resurrect me? This temple contains a library filled with the Lightbringers' collected wisdom. This includes a ritual that will bring a Lightbringer back from the void in time of great need. The library is at your disposal. I'm sure it can answer many of your questions. Okay, I don't understand how I alone can change the fate of the Embers. We believe your next step is to learn what it means to be a Lightbringer. Death has robbed you of your memories and your powers. Speak with the scholars here in the temple. They will help you regain some of what you've lost. Then return to us and we will reveal your next steps. Alright, Erasmus.
Have you accepted the goddess as your savior?
It's the Lightbringer, a living, breathing Lightbringer. You are breathing, aren't you? Forgive me. I have a lot of questions for you. Who are your parents? How did Lightbringers discover the Embers were alive? What does the bond between you and your Ember feel like? I'm afraid I can't offer you many answers. I seem to have no memories of my prior life. Really? And yet you clearly remember much of the language. What an opportunity this is to learn about your death. But wait, perhaps you'd like me to fill in some of the gaps for you. Is there anything you'd like to know? I'd be honored if you'd let me help. Do you have any idea who I was? We don't have much specific information. Your tomb said you were a warrior most valiant and that your heart was true, but most of the rest of the inscription was worn away, including your name and date of your death. How did I die? That's what I was hoping to ask you. All I know for sure is that you died at the Battle of the Harvest Plains, which became the Bog of Souls, and you were given a burial of great honor in the Barrows. You died a hero, we're certain of that. Why did the three races attack the Lightbringers? Weren't we their mentors? You were, until the Embers arrived. Then your people became involved with unlocking the Embers' secrets and forging bonds with them. The three races felt tossed aside, but their main motivation to go to war with you was their jealousy and lust for the Embers' power, which you were rightly reluctant to share. Well, I must depart. Thank you for your knowledge. You're welcome. I'll try to think of more that might be useful. Don't hesitate to come to me.
Let me guess, not a monk.
You spoke to me. Thank you. It is a little overwhelming to even speak with the Lightbringer, let alone help instruct one. Forgive me, I'm a little nervous. Your people are capable of so much. Communing with Embers is just the beginning. Well, I'm anxious to learn about my capabilities. This is monumental, in my opinion. One of a Lightbringer's most powerful abilities is to speak to the dead, but just the recently dead. And I'm sure that since you were just, pardon my language, resurrected, it should be easier for you to commune with spirits than it was for even the most powerful Lightbringers who ever lived. How can I possibly talk to the dead? How do I actually accomplish this? In all honesty, I don't know. I've studied this aspect of Lightbringers extensively, but, of course, that's no substitute for being able to actually do it. You know, you can read my book about findings. There's a book on the shelf about them. Thank you. I'm sure your assistance will be of great value to me. A final thought. We believe that the dead are often left full of pain and regret. If I had the ability to speak to them, I would try to ease their passing, and perhaps I could learn something in the process. Farangul the Historian. Give me the skulls.
Have you accepted the goddess as your savior?
Ah, the Lightbringer. What a true honor. My name is Farangul, who sounds like a villain. I'm considered a bit of an expert on Radiance. Is there anything I may help you with? So the residents of Darkwood unearthed this temple. Not exactly. After the War of the Flames, this area experienced a great flood. As the waters began to recede, the residents of Darkwood discovered the ruins and began to excavate them. In time, the water level lowered enough for people to renovate the temple and begin to live here. Syrma mentioned that many important Lightbringer teachings were discovered here. How is that possible? Wouldn't the water have destroyed them? It's a bit of a miracle. One of the chambers was airtight and magically enhanced. When the people of Darkwood found it, they could not open it. The door finally unlocked once someone with Lightbringer ancestry accidentally touched it. From there, the monkhood was born. What exactly do the monks of Radiance do here? We're a peaceful order that teaches the same tenets that the Lightbringers lived by when they were prominent. A deep love of nature and domus, communication instead of war, and of course, the nurturing and protection of Embers. Well, thank you for the information, but I must get going. Anytime, Lightbringer. I shall be here if you need me. Bartholomew the Scholar.
Forgive me, I'm trying to memorize my mantra.
It is a great honor to assist you, Lightbringer. Let me begin by asking, do you have any memory of your old Ember companion, or the lantern in which you housed it? I'm afraid not. An Ember companion in a lantern? I don't understand. You should first understand that Lightbringers spent much of their time finding and awakening Embers all over Domus. It was arduous work, but the Lightbringers were dedicated to it. The reward came in the form of a spiritual bond, a powerful flow of energy between the Ember and its companion. When used correctly... Oops. Lost my place. Oh my goodness, where did I go? Oh, I accidentally hit the thing. I went forward. Whoopsies. Alright, the lantern is primarily a safety precaution, both for the Lightbringer and its Ember companion. Sharing magical energy can be a dangerous endeavor. The lantern allowed the energy to be channeled or focused toward a particular task. Some of the lanterns were also quite beautiful and ornate, but we've only found a few still intact. They are magnificent. What did the companion do? The Ember companion gave the Lightbringer the power to accomplish great things. It would share arcane knowledge, use its otherworldly power to aid in experiments, and help its Lightbringer to discern the mysteries of the energy sources littered throughout Domus. Most importantly, perhaps, the Lightbringer and Ember would become very true, very loyal friends. Those are difficult to come by. What was the purpose of the lantern? Alright, we already talked about that. What do you think my companion and lantern are? Unfortunately, we can't say with certainty. But when a Lightbringer perished, its companion was often given a burial of great honor in a different section of the barrow. That's where I would start looking. Surma would know more. It would be worthwhile to consult with him first. I think that's why we go back to the crypt I was buried in. Alright, Jaren the Scholar.
That mask looks very uncomfortable.
Lightbringer, your people were known for their resourcefulness and their ability to imbue items with the energies of Embers. As a result of your lineage, you have the potential to become a master craftsman. You should be able to create both common and rare items. Really? What sort of items? Oh, anything from simple food and potions to unique and powerful equipment. All you need are the right ingredients and an appropriate crafting station. Can you teach me to craft something? On the pedestal there, you'll find a helpful book, A Guide to Crafting. It explains how to brew potions. You'll also learn a few alchemic recipes for your crafting journal. You can learn other recipes by experimenting with item combinations from books you find in the world, or by purchasing them from some merchants. Well, thank you. This sounds like a good start. Agreed. Crafting is the most valuable skill that can greatly aid you in your quests. You'd be well advised to spend some time experimenting with it. I'm not going to read over it. I just wanted to learn the stuff. Yeah, medium and sage, so let's see. There we go.
Let me guess, not a monk.
Wendell the Scribe. Hello, Lightbringer. I am Wendell, Surma's personal scribe. In addition, I'm an amateur historian and mapmaker. I'm no Gerald Wembley, but I consider myself quite knowledgeable. Anything you wish to know? Perhaps you can enlighten me on the War of the Giants, which took place entirely while I was in the Void. It is a long and complicated war. The books by Wembley on the bookshelf here cover in great detail. I can give you the basics, though. Towards the end of the Fourth Age, the year 1933 to be precise, the three races were in a period of unparalleled land expansion, driven by prosperity and a desire for more embers. Greed, an unquestioned ally in any war. No doubt. Eventually the three races began to encroach on the Giants' eastern territory, which had been theirs since the Second Age laid out the kingdom boundaries. The Giants would stand for it no longer. Diplomacy failed, and skirmishes broke out between them and the elves and dwarves. Where were the humans in all this? Divided into two separate, loosely tied kingdoms, the City of Light, led by King Archimedes, was quick to join the elves and dwarves. Pinnacle, under his brother King Argathor, remained reticent. The giants found allies in other oppressed races such as the Shards and Drifters. The lines were drawn, the battle was fierce. Surely the allies beat the giants back with ease, or beat back the giants with ease. Quite the opposite. The giants made steady gains over a bloody 5 years. Early in 1938, they took the City of Light and began burning the farmlands. This finally roused Pinnacle and the Shepherds to the east. They both joined the alliance. Hope was kindled. And what happened next? The Battle of the Farmlands. The allies organized a deadly counterattack in the dark of night. They struck a swift and decisive blow over 3 days of monumentally bloody fighting. The casualty tolls were enormous. King Archimedes of the City of Light was mortally wounded. The giants were pushed to retreat for the first time, though. So the war changed after that? Indeed. King Argathor of Pinnacle was enraged by the death of his kin. He led a furious campaign, driving the giants back to the western cliffs over the next year and a half. A treaty was finally reached towards the end of 1939. The kingdom lines were redrawn. The allies made enormous gains. The giants faded quietly. Did this war lead to a time of prosperity for the three races? Yes and no. With Archimedes' death, Argathor became king of both the City of Light and Pinnacle, reunited the two human kingdoms. Humanity became the strongest force in Domus. In the east, a mysterious fire consumed much of the southern forest, which the shepherds called home. It was devastating. They became the Shepherd Plains. Sounds like the war changed many things. It truly did. I urge you to read up on it, and King Argathor especially. There are many books which go into further detail on the subject. You will find that, even more than 100 years removed, the War of the Giants has left a lasting mark. Have the boundaries of kingdoms changed since my time? Where do the three races call home? The boundaries have changed significantly. I would refer to your map for that. I drew it. I can give you some information on the three races and their homes. Alright, tell me about the humans. The human kingdom lies far to the south of Radiance. It consists of two cities, the City of Light and Pinnacle. King Victus is the ruler of the City of Light, while his sickly brother, King Xavier, and his meddlesome son, Prince Syrian, control Pinnacle. They also govern the farmlands that pepper the center of the continent. Alright, tell me about the elves. The Elven Kingdom is an island known as Risen, maybe? And it lies in the Western Ocean, not visible on your map. It's a beautiful island, lined with gorgeous beaches and bustling ports. The capital city, Medii, is home to King Aventus, a veteran of the War of the Giants. Well, tell me about the dwarves. If you look at the top of your map, you can just see the southern border of the Dwarven Kingdom far to the north, above the Bog of Souls. Above that lies the vast mountainous region that the dwarves call home. Their king, Harfast, lives in their capital city of Gwenfire. Okay, well thank you. Anytime. There are many books which can teach you of the history of these people. Perhaps next time we'll delve a bit deeper into some of the other races and landmarks. Until then. Whew, that was a lot of reading. I'm Marcus the Scholar.
I need chaos, and not a monk.
Oh, there you are. Where are you? Can you feel it? Feel what? Oh my goddess, I'm tingling all over. You must feel it, no? Have you been eating Nightshade? Not since lunch, no. Lightbringer, you can be so many places. Can't you feel it? Come on. Whenever you reach a place of power, you leave a bit of yourself behind. Nothing big, no important pieces. From then on, you always go back there in an instant, and back again, and anywhere else you've been, anytime. Boing. Alright, you're starting to make sense, which concerns me. Are you referring to some sort of teleportation? Yes, you can feel it. Wonderful. Teleportation is such an ugly word for such a free, beautiful thing. Lightbringers can pop in anywhere. Well, once you've been there. Can't go somewhere you've never been, can you? That would be crazy. That does sound very useful. How do I do it? You tell me. You're the Lightbringer. I can't actually do it. You'll figure it out. You already said you can feel it. Well, thank you for whatever this was. I live to serve, or wait, do I serve to live? Where am I? Are we still in Radiance right now? My horse.
That mask looks very uncomfortable.
There you are, Lightbringer. Sing with me. I once met a sailor with naught but a sword. I asked for a teacup. He gave me his... Now you smell like a latrine. Are you really a monk? My name is Horace. I'm in charge of the winery around here, and I do a mighty fine job of it, thank you very much. Though I don't much fancy it. Never touch the stuff. You don't drink? Well, I didn't say that. I'm an ale man. Wine is for elves and their funny masks and designer robes. Ale is for the hardy folk of Domus. Are you an ale man too? I can't say I remember. Of course not. Silly me. Well, I've collected some fine books that will tell you all about the best ale houses in Domus on this bookshelf here. My personal favorite is the Busty Maid. They make a golden wheat ale that will have you singing in no time. Well, thanks. I have to visit these when my quest is complete. You won't regret it. Sing with me. There once was a whistle made out of thistle, which could call to my fair Lenore. She asked, Darius the Scholar?
Peace be with you, stranger.
I'm afraid I've been selected to offer you the gravest of teachings, Lightbringer. You're not the only one to have been recently resurrected. We've learned that a Darkbringer has been awoken. His fury is unmatched in all of Domus. Who is this Darkbringer? His name has been lost to time. He was part of a sect of Lightbringers who, during the War of the Flames, sensed doom was near. They betrayed their own people in the belief that they would be spared. Imagine, the powers of Lightbringers and Embers combined and turned to destruction. It sounds like these Darkbringers are devoid of honor. You put it kindly. They, along with the three races, hunted the Lightbringers to extinction. The very cruelty of it corrupted their souls and literally darkened their appearance. The Darkbringers dealt the deciding blow in the war at Harvest Plains, or what we now call the Bog of Souls. There's no end to the horrors that the races of Domus have inflicted on each other, is there? Listen, that's not all. The great irony came directly after the Darkbringers slaughtered the Lightbringers on the Harvest Plains. The three races, fearing their allies' power and evil, massacred them on the very same fields. The betrayers were betrayed. There's a book about it on the shelf, should you want to learn more about the loathsome chapter of our history. Why would one of these creatures be resurrected? By whom? By whom, I don't know. Why? Any number of reasons, none benign. Listen, you must be wary. This Darkbringer can sense your existence, and he will do everything in his power to destroy you. Darkbringers were created to destroy Lightbringers. Spending hundreds of years in the void will only have sharpened their bloodlust. Who is this Darkbringer? Alright, we already talked about that. Does he wear robes like mine, but darker? And does he exude a chill? He found you already? That's extremely disturbing. Even more disturbing is that he let you live, for some reason. He gave no indication that he wanted to kill me. He simply offered a cryptic warning about Radiance, then he covered his exit by setting some of his followers against us. A warning about Radiance? That makes no sense. Perhaps designed to keep you confused and uncertain. Look, he must have an agenda that is furthered by keeping you alive for the moment, but his kind was created to kill Lightbringers. Do not trust him. So yeah, I don't think we need to read most of these because we've already kind of... The scholars kind of tell us what we need to know, so we don't really need to read the books. But again, if you want me to read the books, just let me know and I will. There's so many.
Do you have a question for me, Lightbringer?
Oh, now that you've spoken with the scholars, we should help you regain your intrinsic powers. How can I do that? Speak with Kora, Korin's sister. Kora is the one who researched the resurrection ritual that brought you back to us. She knows of another such ritual that we believe can restore your powers. You'll find her in her home, west of the main hall. Korin, prepare yourself. She is disturbed, as you must have anticipated. Korin, what's this about?
It has been a very long and tiring quest. Can I be excused?
Your hesitance is disconcerting. This is not the time to avoid conflict. I understand the noble intent behind your foolish gesture, Korin. But where you see selflessness, Kora sees something else entirely. Now don't compound the problem by keeping her waiting. Should we hear screams of pain, we'll send someone to save you. We'll talk to her at once.
This will not be pleasant.
Alright, well... Here we go. Excuse me, Lightbringer. I have something to ask of you. I'm sure you noticed the undead in the barrows. Your people created wards against that type of corruption long ago, but it seems their power has waned. I believe they can be restored by simply placing an ember on each color on the 4 altars within. Would you be interested in helping me with this task? Absolutely. Ancient Lightbringer burial sites should not be filled with the undead. Thank you so much. There are 4 altars in the barrows total, 1 for each color of ember. You need to go to the altar, find a nearby ember of the correct color, and place it on top. Be aware that some of the doors in the barrows are still locked. Luckily, Kora holds the master key that will grant you access. You should speak to her if you haven't already. Considering you interrupted me, and I was on my way to speak to her.
I can't wait much longer.
I think we will read Kora's diary and stuff, though, and take her blue ember. Okay. Radiance training diary. Because she has a companion, I think it's worth reading about this. Day 1, 5th age, yada yada, 55th year. It's my birthday today. Usually they wouldn't even notice, but it seems 10th birthdays are super important. Also, diaries are important now too. I have to write in this stupid thing every night after training. They say it's all for my spiritual growth, whatever that means. Corn brought me a flower from the garden as a present. Too bad I don't like flowers. It was a nice thought, I guess. He said training is not that bad. I don't believe him. He thinks everything is fun. Tomorrow, I take some sort of test to figure out my specialty. It all seems crazy to me. I don't believe in this stuff. I think the Lightbringers are stupid. Why'd they all get killed? I hate Radiance, and as soon as I'm old enough, I'm taking Corn out of here. I don't get why the monks took us anyway. Day 2. I guess I have a way with magic? They're making me study all these old books that help teach people to use spells. I thought it was all stupid, but then I lit the book on fire just by thinking it. That was pretty cool. I bet Corn can't do that. Tomorrow I'm going to begin combat training. At least that's something useful. I don't understand why we spend so much time learning about the Lightbringers and these Ember things. They look like little glowing balls of light to me. This War of the Flames happened thousands of years ago. The monks say it was a terrible mistake, that it placed our world on a path of doom. I don't understand any of this. How can dead people cause us doom? Why can't I just go out and play like some of the other kids in the orphanage? Corn got to play yesterday. He makes me so angry. He just does whatever anyone says. None of this seems weird to him. Day 106. Well, that was a jump. As part of our acolyte training, we visited the Bog of Souls yesterday. I can still feel the chill. It's like it's seeped into my bones. Our teacher Erasmus says this is where the Lightbringers made their final stand after being betrayed by the Darkbringers. The battle raged on for days. Thousands died here. After the battle, the Darkbringers insisted on burying every one of the former brothers they had slain. When they had finished, the 3 races betrayed the betrayers. All the Darkbringers are buried there as well. Eventually, the swamp rose over the battlefield, and the bog was born. Now it's covered in this eternal darkness. Considered to be the most haunted place in Domus. I don't know if the ghosts of the fallen really walk the battlefield at night, but I do feel a bit bad for the Lightbringers. From everything we learned, they were a kind people. They were teachers and explorers, naturally curious folk. I don't understand why the 3 races destroyed such a noble race. Maybe it was jealousy. I'm not saying I believe in all this Lightbringer doom and cursed omen stuff they teach us, but I can finally say that I feel a bit of sympathy for the Lightbringers. Hope their souls found Agnitio in the next life. I heard from Corn that the visit to the Bog of Souls is the last step of acolyte training. We become apprentices next week. After that, we have to put our skills to the test. Corn has become a solid warrior. I never would have expected it. He still does everything I say, though. You wouldn't know he's 2 years older than me. Hope these next tests involve some actual combat. I'm ready. I hate being pent up behind these walls all the time. At least when we visited the Bog of Souls, we got to see a bit of Domus. We even were allowed to eat at a tavern on the way. People all stared at us, though. They think we're crazy. Sometimes I think they are right. I'm gonna steal her diary. Can I open this chest? No, it's empty. Alright, 9 more pages. Alright, 1 second. Day 262. Just got back from my first combat mission. The monks finally let me join the other apprentices on one of their journeys. There was a group of weirdings attacking some of the farms just south of Radiance. A group of 20 of us were dispatched to drive them off. When we got there, I admit, I was a little scared. I wasn't quite sure what to expect. The weirdings are known as vicious fighters. We set up a perimeter around the farms, facing the forest, and waited. A little after midnight, the alarm was raised. The rest of us sprinted to the source. 5 weirdings were attempting to break into a farmhouse. Like to steal the women and hold them for ransom. I shot a fireball at one of them and caught his attention. We drew our weapons. The leader leapt at us, but his companions fled into the forest. He put up a fierce fight, but we managed to subdue him with nothing but minor injuries all around. We sent him back with a message for his people. I think this will be the last time these creatures attack for a while. When we returned home, I implored Surma, the head monk, to send me on more of these missions. He smiled knowingly and said, "All in good time." So much patience required to be a good monk. I'm not sure I'll ever be capable of that. Day 29. Sorry, it's based on the year as well, so 262 is 60th. 61st. Okay, another field trip today. It seems we are finally getting to the core of Radiance philosophy. We were taken down into the Ember mines, where the dwarves are digging deeper and deeper, looking for more sleeping embers. The monks even bought some. They believe that these embers are alive. They are supposedly living entities, but all the embers I have seen just sit there and glow. They are bringing the ones they bought to Radiance to ensure they aren't abused. If it's true that these are living things, it makes the way the 3 races use them even more horrible. The races use them as an energy source, fueling their forges and lighting their homes. They are quite literally draining them of their life force so they can see at night. It's horrible to think that these beings are dying at our hands. It gets worse though. They're becoming increasingly rare. The dwarves are having a harder and harder time finding them, so they make their tunnels bigger and deeper. The heat down in these tunnels is unbearable. I don't understand how the dwarves handle it. This all gets to the crux of the lesson. The monks believe that if all the embers die, it will destroy the world. Ask why the monks don't do something about this. Our teacher laughed. He says they don't have the power to stop the 3 races. They have an unquenchable thirst for ember. It has become the foundation of their societies. The monks' warnings have gone unheard, and there is nothing we can do to force them to stop. I hope this is just more of the Radiance craziness that I've come to expect. Because if this is true, Domus doesn't have much time left. There's already great worry among the populace about this lack of new ember. There have been calls for a conference of the 3 races to somehow solve the problem. It would appear the solution involves a move backward into the days before this power was discovered. That will never happen. Maybe the monks know more than they are letting on. There has to be a way to save us. If not, then what is the purpose of Radiance? Are they okay just watching the world end? I'm not. Alright, Kora.
I'm deeply honored to meet you, Lightbringer. Of course, I would have met you sooner had my brother not betrayed me. Sneaking off in the dead of night like a criminal and stealing my one moment of glory.
Ah, I see. The rash action Surma spoke of. Glory. Have I ever in my entire life wasted a single thought on glory? Kora, I did it to protect you. With the bandits in the northern forest, your impetuousness would have been your downfall. I stood a better chance of sneaking in. You would only invite battle for its own sake. Kora does bring up, I don't need your protection. If anything, you need mine. You had absolutely no right to steal this honor from me. None. You knew what it meant to me, and you did it anyway. So you're the one that was supposed to resurrect me? It may as well have been Wait, what? It may as well have been real. Resurrecting you was my task. I've been preparing for it for months. Jeez, I cannot read now. I'm looking forward to it, and he knew it. I feel your brother's intentions were true. I would rather have you here alive than have you lying dead in that barrow on your way to fulfill your destiny, even if you remain furious with me forever. Corin, I understand, but sometimes Alright, Corin. I've heard what you've had to say. That's it. That's enough. The Lightbringer is here. That's all that matters. Yes, best set this aside for now. Syrma told me you may know how I can regain my Lightbringer powers. Fine then. After resurrecting you, as was my duty...
Oh, I didn't know about that part.
Okay. Fine then. After resurrecting you, as was my duty, I had intended to take you to another part of the barrow and reunite you with your Ember companion. But as we all know, Korn decided to grow a pair of maces at my expense. It's okay. So we need to travel all the way back to the barrows. We can use your teleportation magic to get there quickly. You could ask the Ember on the table if he, or she, I've never been clear on how that works, would grant you some of his power. Just be respectful. I'm sure he'll cooperate. I'll come with you, and Kora will probably join us, though. And Kora will probably join us. Though he'd best... Oh my goodness, I can't read. Though he'd best stay away from me. Is this Ember your companion? Mine? No. Only Lightbringers can have companions. Or have companions. This fella lives in an underground chamber here in Radiance with a lot of other Embers. When I heard you'd arrived, I ran down and got him. I suspected you would need to borrow some of his power. Should we bring him along? No. The last thing we want to do is put him in danger. When you're reunited with your true companion, your powers will be fully restored. One of the monks will take him back to his home after we leave. Is everything going to be alright between you and Korin? I don't know. He robbed me of my destiny and wasted months of my preparation. I'd like to break his neck. Not robbed, no. Just altered its precise methodology, perhaps. Surma has told me of your strength. I need someone like you with me. My life is yours to command. Oh wow, okay. We're moving pretty quick. My life is yours to command, Lightbringer, until the job is done. Well, unfortunately, Korin and I will take you to this chamber and find your companion. Well, I welcome your company, both of you. We need to get back to the barrows soon. We've already wasted enough time thanks to Korin's foolishness. You can now just ask this Ember to grant you some of its power, his power, and your teleportation ability should take us to the exact chamber we need to be in. Well, I'm ready to go. Do I whisper at the Ember, or command it, or... You whisper if you want to, but there's no need. Simply be near him and think of the barrows. Embers are empathetic. He should know where we want to go and get us there safely. Alright then, let's go. Alright. And we're going to call the episode here. And the next one we'll go get our better half. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you guys in the next episode. Apologize there was no action in this one. Just a lot of reading. I forgot how much talking or how much reading took place there. But there's no way to avoid it. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope to see you guys in the next episode.